Hey everyone, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a wild story like this one. Let's jump right in. Welcome back to another mind-blowing tale from our channel. Won't you be my neighbor? That sweet little line always makes you want to grab a cozy sweater and some hot cocoa. But today's story? Yeah, you might want to lock your doors instead. Because sometimes the folks next door aren't just borrowing a cup of sugar. They're taking a whole lot more. Story time. My wife cheated with the guy down the street, then begged me to keep it quiet from his wife. I didn't. I told her everything. I'm 38, my wife Emily is 36. We've been together 15 years, married for 11. We have one amazing little boy, Noah, who's 7. Life looked perfect from the outside. Nice house, 2 cars, a goofy golden retriever, family vacations wherever she wanted to go. I worked my tail off for over a decade to give them everything, and I thought we were solid. Then a month ago I found out she'd been sleeping with our neighbor. Let's call the neighbor Jake and his wife Lisa. They live a few houses down. Not next door, but close enough that our kids play together. Their son Ethan is Noah's age and in the same class. The boys became buddies a couple years back, which meant Emily and Lisa got close too. I knew Jake well enough to wave and crack a few jokes when we bumped into each other, but we weren't friends. Just 2 dads whose wives and kids hung out, so we played nice. Jake owns his own plumbing business, and Lisa works the afternoon shift, so neither of them were home when school let out. Emily was always around, so the boys started coming to our place after school. We were all cool with it. Ethan's a great kid, Jake and Lisa were grateful. And Emily always said she didn't mind. It became routine for over a year, totally normal, no red flags. Then one random afternoon I got off work early. I walk in the house and see Noah and Ethan parked in front of the TV, totally zoned out. That was weird. We have a strict homework first, screens later rule. I said hey, chatted for a minute, and asked if they'd finished their homework. Noah said Mom promised to help them when she got back. Back from where? That's when my gut twitched. I asked where she went. The boys said the store, but they weren't sure how long she'd been gone. After a little gentle questioning, they admitted they'd watched almost 2 full episodes since she left, so roughly 30 to 50 minutes. That didn't add up. Emily hates leaving Noah alone even for a quick errand. She always said he was too young. Plus, she does big grocery runs on weekends and gets annoyed about wasting gas on multiple trips. And the kicker? Her car was still in the driveway. I stepped outside to double-check. Yep, right where she left it this morning. My stomach dropped. She told the kids she was going to the store. But she never left the neighborhood. I tried to stay calm. Maybe Noah misheard her. Kids get distracted. I called her phone. It rang forever before she finally picked up. I kept my voice light, asked how Noah was doing. She said he was downstairs working on homework. I told her I was home and she definitely wasn't. Dead silence on the line, like she forgot how to breathe. I asked where she actually was. More silence. I got sharper. Did you really go to the store like you told the kids? Quiet little no. Then she said she'd be home soon and would explain everything. I sat on the front step waiting to see which direction she'd come from. Less than 2 minutes later, there she was, walking up the sidewalk from Jake's house. Hair a mess, makeup fresh, dress way nicer than someone who'd been cleaning and watching kids all day. And yep, Jake's work van was parked in his driveway. He wasn't out on a job. Everything clicked in the worst way possible. She saw me waiting and froze. I didn't even let her open her mouth with some excuse. I just asked flat out, "Were you at Jake's house?" She looked like a kid caught stealing cookies. Eyes huge, mouth open, no words. Finally she nodded and said she went to borrow baking soda. I glanced at her empty hands. She claimed they didn't have any either and she'd spent all that time searching their kitchen. I didn't say a word. Just stared. She knew I wasn't buying it. Her voice started shaking. Classic line. It's not what you think. I told her I was done with lies and went inside. That whole night I didn't speak to her. Helped the boys with homework, ate dinner in silence, went to bed without looking at her. My brain was screaming. Part of me wanted to believe there was some innocent explanation, but the bigger part knew my wife. If she was innocent, she'd be furious at the accusation. She wasn't furious, she was terrified. So I grabbed my phone, started a voice memo, and slid it under the bed on my side. Then I rolled over and asked, "Does Lisa know what's going on between you and her husband?" She went stiff. Denied everything at first. I laid out every lie. The hour-long baking soda hunt, the fake grocery runs, lying on the phone while I was standing in our own living room. She had nothing. Just kept repeating, believe me, nothing happened. I asked if she thought Lisa would believe her. That's when she grabbed my arm and begged me not to say anything. Said it would ruin their friendship. Ruin everything. I kept pushing. If nothing happened, why be scared? She cracked. First it was maybe something small, then just emotional, then tears, and it only happened a few times. She swore it never went all the way, but come on. The details don't matter. Cheating is cheating. She finished confessing, then immediately started pleading that I not tell Lisa. I asked if she'd shown the same concern for our marriage. She cried harder, said we could fix this, that our life was strong enough to survive anything. I got up, walked to the guest room and locked the door. For the next few days I said nothing. She tiptoed around hoping I'd let it go. I didn't. I called a lawyer and started separating accounts. Update 1. The comments on my first post really got to me. Especially the one that said, "Put yourself in Lisa's shoes. Would you want to know?" The answer was yes. I was already planning to tell her when fate made the choice for me. Emily got served divorce papers. She cried, begged, made a total scene. I ignored it. Then one weekend she invited Jake and Lisa over for dinner without telling me. Jake and Emily spent the whole night watching me like I was a bomb about to go off. Lisa had no clue. I waited until everyone was relaxed and they were literally putting on coats to leave. Then I turned to Lisa and said super casually, "By the way, they've been sleeping together." The room froze. Lisa didn't even ask for proof. She just hauled off and smacked Jake in the chest and said, "You're doing this again?" Turns out this wasn't his first rodeo. Years ago he cheated with someone at his old job. Lisa forgave him, they moved neighborhoods to escape the gossip, and he started his own company. Even Emily looked shocked. Lisa told us Jake had used the exact same lines back then, "Trouble in my marriage," which was a lie that time too. That's why she didn't buy the "we never had sex" story for a second. Lisa unloaded on both of them. Called Emily every name in the book, fake friend, homewrecker, the works. Emily just stood there crying while Lisa stormed out. Jake followed like a kicked puppy. Emily turned to me, tears streaming, and said, "Look what you've done." I told her this was 100% on her and Jake. Lisa and I were the victims. She had nothing to say to that. Lisa called me the next morning, voice wrecked from crying all night. She thanked me for telling her and said she's divorcing him this time. No second chances, no moving towns again. I passed her my lawyer's number. Update 2, hopefully the final one. Emily is officially my ex. The divorce was ugly. She kept the house and got alimony, which still feels like a punch in the gut, but my lawyer kept the payments manageable. We split custody of Noah 50-50. That's the one thing that makes all of this bearable. He's my whole world, and we're both doing everything to keep his life stable. Lisa's divorcing Jake too. Going smoother for her as it usually does. And I'm genuinely happy she's getting out. Jake had to move to a cheap apartment across town. Word spread fast on our street. Nobody wants a plumber who can't keep it in his pants. Business dried up overnight. I'm in a smaller place now, just big enough for me and Noah on my weeks. He's adjusting great. And I'm pouring everything into being the best dad I can be. Do I regret blowing it all up? Not for a second. I worked too hard to build that life to come home every night to someone who treated my sacrifices like a joke. I needed my self-respect. And I needed my son to grow up knowing betrayal isn't something you swallow and smile about. Final thoughts. Lisa didn't even need evidence. She took one look at their guilty faces and knew it was the same old song. Emily stood there stunned that her best friend finally saw right through her. Tough lesson. The world doesn't run on your excuses. Emily got exposed and humiliated. Jake lost his reputation and his business. Me? I'm free. And honestly, that feels pretty damn good. So tell me, what would you have done in my shoes? Drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching, fam. Smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you never miss the next crazy story. See you in the next one. Victory hand.